This video troubling and quite frankly disturbing. A man seen literally urinating on a family's pride flag. Another guy actually seen taping that video. The victims in this case understandably shaken by it all. The city attorney's office says incidents like this cannot and will not be accepted.
Things have been steadily getting worse for the queer and especially trans community.
Heartache for LGBTQ plus families in Wineland Park, rocked by a shocking instance of hate.
Gays. Gays.
A man recorded urinating on a pride flag, shouting homophobic remarks, a buddy filming the entire thing.
Hey, Doug, give me one.
We all experienced fear. Honestly, I think a lot of us were worried that this would be an escalation.
This incident was incredibly hurtful to the individuals involved, and even more so to the entire LGBTQ community.
Tuesday, City Attorney Zach Klein announcing a list of charges against that suspect, identified in court records as Trey Fetzer. He's facing ethnic intimidation, criminal mischief, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct.
This type of conduct will not be tolerated in the city of Columbus. Hate has no home in the city of Columbus.
Klein goes on to say this conduct is serious and his office will look to actively prosecute anyone who threatens someone in this community. Rodney Dunigan reporting. The numbers are quite frankly disturbing and heartbreaking. According to the Community Shelter Board, homeless numbers were up about 22% last year. Shelters citywide helping hundreds of people a day. We're talking men, women, kids, families in dire situations.
When we were at our downtown location, we were averaging 80 people a day. We're averaging more like 150 people a day now.
Shelley Mathias, director of the Open Shelter, detailing the growing desperation across Columbus. Affordable housing, a dire need.
They actually really do help. They help people with anything they need.
For a rising number of people, local shelters a vital lifeline.
I tend to be behind in rent and have trouble keeping up with stuff like that due to the fact that I'm already low in poverty.
Wednesday, city leaders announcing a new funding effort. $9.4 million in federal dollars will be invested into the Community Shelter Board. The money, part of the American Rescue Plan Act.
We have a problem that is just getting worse, that we have to be big and bold when we think about solutions.
City leaders had already allocated $5.5 million to the Community Shelter Board. The additional funding creating a total of more than $14 million.
We're talking about mothers and children. We're talking about pregnant women. We're talking about families here in Columbus who are working even and still coming up short when it comes to the access to housing.
The funding will be used by the nonprofit to help with community outreach, emergency housing, and other projects, something advocates say will benefit countless families.
The need is growing.
The Community Shelter Board plan will prioritize decreasing homelessness among families and pregnant women. The effort about truly making an impact for those living on the margins. Rodney Dunigan reporting.
My life doesn't stop. This is not going to beat me. I've always had that attitude.
Grit, determination, and unbreakable spirit.
I'm glad that God kept that spirit in me as far as wanting to fight for my life.
Todd Hammond is a survivor.
I have 2 kids also who look up to me, so there's no way I could just lay down and just let this defeat me.
10 years ago, at the age of 42, with a thriving career as a barber, health issues from bacterial meningitis and sepsis would leave him a quadruple amputee. His hands, his legs removed. That life change shifting his perspective.
I got a family and I got a great support system beside me and behind me, so there's no way that I could just lay down and just be a victim to this.
Pushing his passion to make an impact for others.
I coach Little League football. I drive. I like to go to the gym. I like to go out and eat with my lady and just do different things, you know, have the best quality of life that I can. And I feel like everyone deserves to have a good quality of life, no matter what your situation is.
While going through physical therapy, Hammond teamed up with a local engineering student to develop this adaptive device.
And I can put it on and off myself.
Designed to improve his ability to feed himself and use other utensils.
and it just creates a different angle, points the fork down instead of having the fork pointed straight out.
Hammond says the device can be produced on a 3D printer.
I challenge myself to do better and also to be self-sufficient. That's really important to me, is being as self-sufficient as I can. I don't want to be a burden to anyone, and at the same time, I want to be able to do things on my own.
He's working on getting a patent for the invention. The aim is to provide the product to help anyone who has restricted or limited mobility.
Like I said, I like helping people, and I like being an inspiration to people and letting people know that it doesn't stop. Like this it's the bounce back for me, how you bounce back from things that are important and how you handle the tragedies and the things that go on in life. So that's important to me to share with other people.
Hammond looking to motivate others.
No matter what happens, you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing.
He's highlighting that despite life's difficulties, a positive attitude of perseverance can get you through anything. In the process, he's proving to be positively Columbus. Rodney Dunigan reporting. For 143 years, E.E. Ward Moving and Storage has called Central Ohio home. Company founder John T. Ward starting the company in 1881, 20 years after the Civil War.
A lot of history here, a lot of family.
Named after the founder's grandson, Edgar Earl, the family's farm actually a stop on the Underground Railroad. John and his son William using horse and buggy to help fugitive slaves escape north to freedom.
We started from the Underground Railroad. We were giving back then and trying to help then. So we're going to continue that legacy.
Their story featured on World News Tonight.
Hi, David.
Lindsay, 17 years.
I'm very proud of the 143-year-old history that dates back to the Underground Railroad.
The team here telling me this is much more than a business. It's a family.
We have a few husband and wife teams. We have cousins here, and that's what makes it big. We are a big family.
Based in Grove City, the company recently expanding to locations in North Carolina.
It's special given just the history of the company.
Dubbed as America's oldest continuously black-owned business, they're proud of the strides they've made and those yet to come. The team here tells me they have a proud tradition, one they hope will continue for the next 100 years as well. It's something that truly makes them positively Columbus. Rodney Dunigan reporting. OSU's spring game is still more than a month away, but this, of course, is when the real work begins, and the competition will be fierce, especially at quarterback, where the Buckeyes look to go into the season with a clear leader who can help to lead them to a Big Ten and national title. The Buckeye quarterback room overloaded with talent. Dual threat transfer Will Howard, an experienced QB who spent last season with Kansas State. Third-year player Devin Brown, who started the Cotton Bowl for the Buckeyes. Lincoln Keenholtz, who saw a few snaps last year. Let's not forget talented freshman Air Nolan and Julian Sayin, who started his career as an early enrollee at Alabama. Fans expecting a high-powered offense, especially with the addition of Chip Kelly calling the offensive plays.
His schemes are really, really quarterback friendly. I think that the things that he does are easy, and it's not a lot of manipulation. It's how can we get as many yards as possible without any strain.
I think everyone in the quarterback room is going to keep working hard. We're going to push each other, but at the end of the day, the coach is going to play who they want to play, and just got to come in and keep working hard.
That's Ohio State. You're always going to have the best players no matter what. I didn't care coming in here who was in here. I've never cared who's in here. I've said it from the start. I could care less. I'm going to come in and compete, and that's always been my motto.
The Buckeyes bringing back a lot of talented veterans on both sides of the ball. That talent will be on full display in the spring game next month. The Bucks ready to show and prove.
With a lot of people returning, there's a lot of same faces. I think we're returning 9 starters on the defense, so it's like we kind of know what it is. So I feel like the offense kind of has something to prove in that aspect. So we're looking to compete this spring with the defense, and it's going to be a fun one.
We know how much is on the line, and we know how much we've already kind of given to this season and how much we've invested in this team.
Tuesday, we will be on the field as the first 30 minutes of practice is open to the media. We'll also be hearing from head coach Ryan Day and offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. A lot of fans want to hear from him and changes and creativity that he'll be bringing to the Buckeye offense. Rodney Dunigan for the Football Fever. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a great thing to invest in, and that investment is paying off for plenty of students right here in Central Ohio. For 80 years, the United Negro College Fund has supported thousands of young college students. A huge part of the local effort, the Columbus Mayor's Luncheon, garnering hundreds of thousands of dollars in support of scholarships over the years. ABC6, a proud partner once again this year.
This is a way for us to invest directly into our young people, incredible opportunities for them.
Around 85% of the students who receive these scholarships come from families who really need that financial support. This effort is literally helping to change lives. Rodney Dunigan reporting.